Welcome back to the grind. In this video, we're going to talk about the exotic ice flak rune in the news limited time branch. But first, quickly to update you on the upcoming event is Temple Raid. Things were changed a little bit last minute, and the next PvP event will be Temple Raid. I know some people might have been hoping for Kingdom Wars because they want to open silver chests for some runes, while some people are grateful that they don't have to deal with Kingdom Wars. But Temple Raid is great for those who are really pushing for the mythic dragons. If they need some last minute sigils, Temple Raid is typically easier if you're on a good team to score higher milestones for more sigils. While other people are a little bit disappointed because they were hoping that Temple Raid would have occurred during the next season's discount period so that they could get a better start on the season. Regardless, we will be experiencing a Temple Raid this next event. So now let's talk about the new limited time branch that will be available next week only during the Temple Raid PvP event. And this will allow you to claim an exotic ice flak rune. Now the prizes will be set up very similar to the way they have in the past, except now it will cost 6,000 sigils instead of 5,000 sigils, and it will contain a season key at the end of the branch. The first 3 prizes, well, maybe not the first, I think they typically alternate. The first 6 prizes will alternate between 3 rune dust prizes and 3 chisel prizes for a total of almost 7.5 million rune dust and 450 chisels. So I think these are pretty great resources that people will enjoy being able to claim in this limited time branch. Of course, the rune is an exotic ice flak rune that you can choose between an exotic ice flak with attack primary or HP primary. Typically, the primary stat has a max of 10%, while the secondary stat is a max of 5%. And as always, I definitely recommend getting the HP rune because as you can see from other videos, I go into it a little bit more with base defense, but the more HP your towers have, the easier it is to heal them, which allows for more super shots to go off or more regular attacks to go off. And the last prize being a season key, I don't yet know if it will be an extra sigil cost to claim the final prize of the season key, or if you will get it simply by completing the line. They did not clearly specify it, but the way it was worded said upon completion of the branch, you will earn a key, so it might just come along free with it. Now, let's look at my base. I have shifted my towers over to Island 4 and 5 for the Long Kill Island, just to see what it would look like and test it out a little bit. I haven't not removed my runes yet, so my defense power has gone down to about 1.79 billion. Oh, I also realized just now that I didn't boost those islands either. I did move over my defense rider though, so I am getting that bonus. Now, this is my original thoughts for setting up this island with a little bit of tweaking. I have some lightning towers at the back. I'm debating on moving that fire flak and potentially even replacing it with a red mage, but I haven't decided on that yet. Once I do commit to my setup and move over my runes, I'll make a video on my base setup for this arrangement, and that will be in a separate video. But now that I have moved over to the Long Island and that I have now built an ice flak, I will probably be getting this exotic rune. Originally, I had thought I would stop with the 2 because I was going to commit to simply those 2 towers, but that has changed. So now my plans will change and I will be getting this exotic ice flak rune for my island. So now the big question, should you get this or not? Well, for people who have already claimed their mythic or don't really care to complete another line and they're not going to reach a mythic, this line has some pretty solid prizes. You get some rune dust, you get some chisels, those are difficult to obtain in other ways, and you can get an exotic ice flak rune, which is a great benefit to your base if you have an ice flak, especially if you're at endgame. Now, this line really is only a must for those who are close to endgame, and this is really one of the only means left of boosting their base defense. If you're lower level or even mid game, this rune is not a must. It's not going to drastically change your overall defense power, but it will give you a slight edge. However, a couple extra levels on the opponent's dragon, and that will overcome this barrier. And there's always going to be somebody higher level, especially until you're closer to endgame. Now, if you are in need of rune dust, this is a great way to get it. If you're just going to claim the first few prizes, it's a very cheap investment for the rewards. You don't even have to get the exotic rune. Now, if you're going to get this just for a season key, it's a fairly expensive way to do it. It's cheaper to get the first few from riders. So as a season key option, it's not the best. So what it really comes down to is, are you pushing for a mythic and are you worried that you'll fall short? Because if this is going to prevent you from getting your mythic and the mythic is important to you and you've already invested a lot in it, I would just ignore this branch and don't feel bad about it. However, if you think you're going to have some extra sigils, or you've already given up your plans for a mythic, or you've already gotten your mythic, the extra sigils going into this line is a good investment, even if you don't get the exotic rune. So as always, I hope this video was helpful. I hope your fortification event coming to a close is going as expected, and good luck in prepping for the next event and the remainder of this season. See you in the next video.